Good evening, everybody. I hope that all is well. Tonight, we are going to talk about fear, the illness of fear, and how it spreads. So let's talk about it. We're going to jump right on in. No dilly dallying, as you already know. I am your love goddess of the Hoodoo Shoppe. You can always find me doing something. something. This is our what, you guys? Fifth episode? This is our fifth episode. And I wanted to talk about this evening because, as you all know, guess what? We're still in Mercury retrograde. This is the seventh, eighth day of the year. Either way, let's talk about it. So, fear and how it manifests. You want to know what's worse than the fear? The shame that comes behind the fear. The shame of knowing that you are afraid and knowing that your actions are a response to your fear. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you all how God works, how this actually is, right? Just to lift a little bit of the pressure off of my fellow priests and priestesses, because if you know, you know. To my fellow priests and priestesses, I commend you, because I know firsthand that this job is not easy. So let's talk about that too. How the P in priestess stands for pressure. Okay, stands for PTSD, stands for postpartum. Okay, stands for patience, peace, prosperity. All right, and progression. But oh Lord. All right, so what do we have this evening? This evening, the ancestors talk about how fear, fear, it's really a message of the season. What they want us to know about ourselves is actually a very beautiful message this evening, because they want to talk about our feelings surrounding fear. And the first thing that they said this evening was that it is normal and is expected. Okay, you are human, doing things that you have never done before, and you are doing the best that you can. If you know that you're doing the best that you can, give yourself a break. You know, cut yourself some slack, because this isn't easy. And to be doing what we are doing is so much harder than what everyone else is doing. Okay. But this is a message for everyone. It's hard to be human. It's so hard. It is so hard to be human, you guys. And we have to stop having these ridiculously unrealistic expectations of ourselves. Unrealistic expectations. The ancestors, once again, pull out the Joker, the Fool, and the playing cards this evening to describe this time. And they talk about how fear has left us feeling unwell, how in some ways it has crippled us. To me, this card sometimes can represent depression. It can represent how fear has manifested in our lives and what we should be doing to combat it, right? It talks about how it's crippled us, constantly thinking. It feels like, all right, we pay one bill this month and now we're thinking about how we're going to pay it for the next month. Where does it end? Right? Where does it end? The ancestors, they are not telling us that things will ever be easy, right? But they are telling us that it will all be worth it. at some point. Trouble does not last always. It really doesn't. Trouble does not last always. And to hear that is comforting, or at least it should be. It should be comforting. This card can represent how negative thinking can spread, right? And affect our health. It's it's where the headaches are coming from. The sleepless nights. It's 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 overwhelming. Overwhelming. There are so many things. Tonight they also talk about how good things are on the way. They're letting us know that the pressure is about to let up. It's about to let up in ways that we could not have possibly imagined. It is about to bless us in ways that is frugal, that show us the fruits of our labor. Um, and I find that lovely. I really, 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 really do. The ancestors in my Queen of Diamonds, because that is the card that they use to describe this. By the way, I'm using my I forget what this deck is called. My playing card deck. I'm not sure if it's called the Plant Diaries or something like that. But in each one of my major arcana, which would be the jacks, queens, the kings, and the jokers in our particular traditions in terms of my bloodline and how we articulate or interpret these things. Um and in my particular Queen of Diamonds, this young woman, it's a black woman, which is one of the reasons why I love this deck. This woman is facing to the left and she is holding this beautiful, luxurious plant, and it has grown. She has on gold bangles and a white t shirt. She has a crown on her head and orange pants. She, in the background, is pink. It's lovely. To me, it represents relief. It represents relief, but it can also represent having a very bad spending habit. So it's a reminder that when you get this money, don't go out and blow it all. Use it for the things that you know that you need, because that is what is going to provide you with relief. That's what it is. That's where the relief is coming from. So you know, once they answer your prayers, don't go out and spend the answer to your prayers, is what they are saying. They are always going to answer you and give you the things that you need, but they want to make sure that you are not hindering yourself and your, future near and far in the process. And the last card that they use to describe this particular point in time in fear, funny enough, is the next Joker in my deck. And that doesn't happen often where two Jokers come out. And so, and this is my colorful one. So the first one in the reading was a black and white one and it came out in reverse. And the very last one is the colorful one. To me, this one represents fun and it represents freedom. It represents you manifesting peace in your life. It represents happiness. It represents abundance, because even the plant in this one is different. In my first one, in my black and white one, it's like ivy, right? It can be very restrictive, very suffocating, if it's not in positive, if it's not in a positive setting. But in the last card, this one, she stands up, her leaves are big and beautiful, and you can tell that there is, it's almost like I can hear chatter. Like there's a lot of conversating going on. So it could manifest friendships and social, right? A social life. You being able to go out and do the things that you really want to do. Um, and not feeling stagnant or unprogressive in the process. Does that make sense? Right? So have your fun, have your cake, eat it too, even though we know that's not how that saying actually goes. Is you can't have your Kate, K, and Edith, like white lady too. Yeah, that's how that saying actually goes. But of course, we had to put our own spin on it and rewrite it. But that's the reading of the evening. The ancestors just want to make sure that we're not allowing fear to make us sick, because at the end of the day, they're always going to give us what we need. If we're in alignment, we will be rewarded. Okay, you need to write that down. If you are in alignment, you will be rewarded. It's just, and you're going to make mistakes. The benefit of being in alignment is that, you know, you tend to correct yourself a little bit faster. You're like, oh, okay, I just need to do this instead. It doesn't mean, oh, you're not blessed. It doesn't mean they're angry with you. They're just preparing you. They're like, okay, but let's make sure we don't do this where it's important. Let's make sure that we're giving you the things that you actually need. Instead of temporary happiness, allow us to give you long-term happiness and wealth and peace, right? So it's time for you to manifest your own future and go off and go do your own things and explore what freedom means to you this season. Don't let fear hinder you. You're going to be scared when you do things. Any normal human would be scared. It's doing it while you're scared that's important. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been your love goddess. Go to the hoodooshop.com. Check out all of the beautiful things that we have. You all know that we are adding more things to the store. Oh, almost on a weekly basis at this point, a monthly basis, every 2 weeks or so. We have so many beautiful products, so many handmade gifts, so many kits, so many lessons, so many classes and everything. We have an event coming in August 2024 to Houston, Texas, where I will be teaching you all how to do real voodoo in person and guiding you through spell crafting and learning and understanding. And it's just going to be beautiful. Yes, you will be getting your consultations privately, of course. You will not be sharing your consultations with anyone else. And you will also be receiving your baths, of course, because the event is called Bath Time with the Love Goddess. So we will be stepping into the House of Frida this season and seeing what it is that the lovely Mambo has for us. You want some money? You work with Frida. Y'all need baths. Come get a bath with the Love Goddess and learn how to make them yourself and take home the beautiful treasures that I have in store for you. All right. I love you all. Good night.